This is Season 2, Episode 4 of Sound of the Dragon. I'm Jack.
I'm Robin.
From the band Locusts.
Where did it originally come together? How did it come together?
I think I'm going to have to let you take this one with this one. I'm a bit of a late comer.
So, yeah, he turned up late. It originally started after I had left the band I was in because it just wasn't right for me anymore. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I need to do my own thing. So I messaged my mate, Jay, plays drums, and I was like, do you want to jam at some point? So we did. I had some songs left over from a previous band, and it just sort of went from there. So it was just us two for like 3 or 4 practices. And then I was like, we need to get like a bass player, obviously, to thicken it up. We need to get a vocalist at some point. So it all sort of happened organically, but it kind of started off slow. And that was like the inception of it. That'd
be like a year ago now as well. Mm.
Really?
So,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in for about 6 months now. Obviously, the first.
Oh, so not long at all?
No, not really.
Oh.
I'd come in, I guess, really on like a temporary basis kind of thing, just to fill the gap between when they had their original vocalist. And then it kind of spiraled from there, I guess. I think I'd done a handful of shows. It seemed to kind of just gel really well. We all get on particularly well, so it all kind of went from there, really, I guess. And that's just sort of where we are now, isn't it? We've now got our EP out and working on new stuff all the time, so I guess the ball's rolling quite well, really.
So when did the EP come out?
Been out about 2 months now.
Yeah, about that, yeah. We in an ideal world, we would have planned it properly, but we were just so desperate to get it out because we had recorded it with a previous vocalist and things didn't work out. So we decided we're going to wipe that and start again vocally. So that's when I got Jack on board, and we sort of went from there. So we didn't plan it. I just uploaded it, and it was like it will be out when it's out. So it was, and then we were like, oh, hang on, it's been released now, so have it.
So having Jack as the new vocalist now, and going from the old vocalist, has it changed the sound of the band?
Yeah. So originally we were tuned to C# standard, and then as soon as Jack joined, I was like, I'm just going to drop it a little bit just to see. And Jack's got like a more grittier voice, lower register, and it lends itself better. So the recordings are actually in C# standard, but now we play in C standard.
But yeah, this was kind of the consequence of me joining late, because the 4 tracks that we ended up putting out on the EP were already ready made to go, structured around with what they had before, so I had to kind of come in and work around that. So it's different to probably what we're going to end up doing further down the line, just because I guess in such a way I've had to adapt to what they were doing before. I've come in and done that. What we'll probably end up doing in the future will probably align to what our lineup is now, as opposed to what these guys were doing before, I guess.
Yeah, the sound's definitely evolving from when we started, because 2 of the songs off the EP at the point when I started Locusts were about a year old anyway. So that was what I was doing then, and then I shelved it, and then I just thought, look, these songs are already made, so we'll jam them just to get sort of a head start with it. And then we just sort of like, actually, no, these work really well for us, so we just sort of ran with it. But our sound is sort of evolving. We're kind of a lot more riffy and chuggy now compared to like the slight thrash influence at the start.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend trying to get us to put like any kind of label or, bracket.
So you haven't got like a genre for yourself?
I really don't know at this point what to put it, because this does come up quite a lot, and we get asked quite a lot, because naturally you put it on all your, on all your socials, or how you try and market your band or anything like that, but I really don't know quite where we sort of slide into.
We've been called hardcore, we've been called thrash, we've been called just metal, and I think we're an amalgamation of everything.
Yeah,
there's
it's
aspects of it.
Its own kind of thing that we just have carved out for ourselves. I think we just tend to do whatever we kind of feel sounds about right. I don't think that we kind of lumber ourselves into a particular niche of a genre as such, if you like. I think it's just whatever comes naturally to us, I guess.
Totally I would say if you had one word that was a category for your band, I would say mayhem. Absolute chaos, mayhem.
No, we'll take that.
Because I remember when, obviously, we played a gig with you. Malicious Compliance did a gig with you in the Burston Hotel.
Good show.
You absolutely destroyed that place. It was mental. Everyone was
Thank you very
moshing.
much, yeah.
You were going absolutely mental. It was just mayhem. Loved it. Great night.
Yeah, it's just one of them. I think we kind of benefit from it in such a way because it gives us the opportunity to branch out on other shows that I guess we wouldn't do if we lumbered ourselves into a particular category. I think we kind of maybe have the benefit of being able to hang with bands that maybe not necessarily aren't too similar sounding to us, but are of a similar nature in such a way.
Yeah, we could get put on a hardcore show, a grind show, a death metal show. It doesn't matter.
I think there's like a level of intent with that. I think like I've had it before with other things that I've done where you kind of you end up segregating yourself to play in particular kind of shows just because of what you sound like. Whereas with this, I think that we kind of are able to move a bit further from that, and it gives us the opportunity to branch out a bit further. So
yeah, totally agree.
Yeah, so.
Totally agree.
Oh, good. So, if people checking you out for the first time, how would you describe your sound to people that don't know who you are? Expressive dance.
Well, I think this is kind of where it's a bit tough in terms of sound. I think you kind of really the natural instinct, I guess, is to make comparisons to other bands that you may sound like, but who would you say we really sound like is the thing? Like,
It's a difficult one, but a number of people have said we sound like Nails.
I get that in every fucking band that I play in.
And I think it's because of you. I do think it's because of you, because the music isn't quite there. Maybe the tone is, but the music isn't.
I agree. The music really isn't there. It's really not there.
Yeah.
But no, I think that we I guess we do have that sort of crossover kind of sound. I think that on a musical level, I've had it a few times talking to people that it's kind of strange. We have this sort of upbeat kind of tempo to what we do. Like it's kind of very sort of it caters to maybe like two-step kind of appeal as that kind of follows that kind of beat. Even though I think kind of the stuff that maybe what I do maybe is a bit more further removed. I don't think I really do anything or sound anything like sort of typical hardcore bands or anything like that. I think maybe you are right. I lean a bit more into that, maybe more metal kind of thing, like you said, like Nails and that. I don't think I'm anywhere near on that kind of level. Don't get me wrong, but like I guess on some kind of way of saying like. Maybe I sound that sort of way, but I think that's probably what the appeal is. I think that we maybe cross over and branch into other sort of sounds and genres that, did you see what I mean?
I know exactly what you're saying, yeah.
It's a very difficult one to kind of get across. I'd say the best thing to say if you haven't seen us before and you want to come see us, just come see us and find out for yourself, or at the very least listen to the EP. It's the one thing I guess I'm kind of proud of with this band. I think that we're able to put out kind of the music that we're putting out maybe isn't as typical as what we kind of get round in and around our scene. Obviously, you'd probably see it as well. We're doing a lot with Malicious. There is a lot of. I love a lot of the bands from around here, but there is a handful of them which I think just kind of give you what you kind of already know and what you expect. I don't really want to be too up my own arse about it, but like I do think we're kind of different in that respect. Of we're not the same, or we're not exactly the same as what you get with every other band, at least from what we have in our immediate vicinity. And I think that's probably where our appeal comes in, I guess.
Have you ever had people come up to you and go, "Oh, you sound exactly the same as the other band I heard 2 weeks ago"?
Not yet.
No,
we haven't done yet. No.
What would be your reaction when what are you going to say to that person?
I don't mind. I really don't. Me personally, I really don't mind. Like I've had it with other stuff I've done where they kind of go, "Oh, you sound like this," or "You sound like you've taken from this, that, and the other." Generally, I find it incredibly complimentary. Even if you don't really like what we do or anything like that, I don't mind, as long as you've given it the time to, give it a go or anything like that. But I don't mind making comparisons. At the end of the day, we're no different to any other band. We all rip the fuck out of every other band that we've ever liked and loved and all that. Find me a band who doesn't. And so, it's all good with me personally. I don't know. I imagine it's the same for you, really. Like, it's all good. Like,
well, so what are your influences? What's influenced you to start the band and write?
I mean, for me, if it's me personally with what I do, not necessarily as a collective, as a band, but what I like to do with vocal, I'd say if I'm sort of picking names out, first name that comes to mind, J.R. Hayes from Pig Destroyer. On Their Day is probably my favourite band of all time. I do have a list of vocalists that I absolutely adore and worship, but I don't necessarily take from them or massively influence from them. But I'd say that's probably the one on that level. Say if one's that if I wish I could emulate or if I wish I could sound like that, I would say him. Especially, like I said, early 2000s kind of Prowler in the Yard, or Terrifier, that kind of thing. Those two particular records would be the ones where I'm like, if I could sound anything like that, I'd be a happy man. On a musical level, I think it's kind of different. I mean, for you, what would you say, like Ringworm or something like that?
Yeah, Ringworm, heavily influenced.
What a
by
name.
Ringworm.
Oh, Jesus.
You're a very concise man.
Yeah, I mean, musically it would be Ringworm and All Out War. Those two just sort of have like those kind of riffs that I naturally go for, and it's what I try and emulate, but also do my own thing with. And I could well have ripped them off. I don't know, but I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like, I try and take bits and pieces from them, but the main thing that I try and do is I think I just sound like me. That's the one. I try not to lean into it too much with what I do, just because otherwise it's kind of like, what's the point kind of thing. If I do it where I just grab this from that person and this from the other one, then I don't really get the point is then me doing what I do. I prefer it where I can kind of take little bits maybe and things like that, but ultimately I kind of, over the course of time, have started to just do things that whatever feels natural to me and whatever I just enjoy doing. That's kind of where I prioritise it now, I guess. But definitely from a lot of the grindcore bands, sort of the late 90s, early 2000s, where I guess I draw most of my influence from.
Oh, good. So, tone, what are you using? Especially for you.
And this is the bit where I hand over and I stay quiet. So.
As the guitarist, bass player.
You're looking to get stabbed.
Do you want to ask that question again?
Don't think I can. I don't think I can.
Make sure you're looking dead in the fucking eye.
Hello.
All right, go again, because
Right, what tone are you using? Like,
what tone am I using?
Yeah,
So-
to get your Locust sound, basically. What have you got on your pedal board?
I don't have a pedal board.
You don't?
I don't anymore, no. I use a Kemper Powerhead. So I just basically use a mixture of things. So I'm actually running some sort of a Mesa head in a sense, through like into the Kemper itself, and then obviously I've got the gain and the saturation set all the way up, so it kind of sounds a bit like Swedish Chainsaw in a sense, but I don't want too much of it because I still want that clarity there. So I'll be using that, but I've dialed it back a fraction with various EQs and things like that. But I'm using Seymour Duncan pickups in my guitar. Oddly enough, they're Seymour Duncan 59s. They're not built for metal, but they work perfectly well. They're copies of Gibson PAF 59s, and they sound great for metal. It's really bizarre, but it works. So yeah, I don't use any pedals. I don't use anything like that, but that's purely because of the amp I'm using. Beforehand, I was using a PV6505, and my pedal board was super basic. It was just a Boss SD9, just dialed in like a tube screamer, tuner, and a noise gate. That was it.
That's basically like my rig. I've got like just a Shure tuner. I use a bass butler preamp, and then I've just got like a decimator.
Yeah.
Thing. Very simple.
Decimator was what I used. There was a very short time when I used a kind of a fuzz pedal, and it was oversaturating everything, and I needed two noise gates. I needed one in the back of the amp and at the front, and it was just way too much. The tone was there, but I couldn't tame it. It was just too much. So I thought I need to change it up. But now I've got it's probably the best tone that I've got, and regretfully it's digital, so I'm not overly happy about it. But the tube head was killing me. It was way too heavy. I couldn't lug it around to shows anymore. So I've gone over to the dark side, and I'm now.
Can't believe you've done that.
I know. Well, it nearly didn't survive at our show at the Burston because someone knocked it off of the cab.
The funny thing is, this happened about 2-3 fucking months ago, and he hasn't stopped going on about it since.
Well,
did you jump off the cab during your set?
No. I tripped over the fucking like cables. Like the set had finished. The set had finished, and like I'm just walking back, and then I'm like obviously knackered and like pissing with sweat and all that, and I trip over, what is it, just the cable behind the fucking...
You tripped over the power cable, yeah. And then I looked over at the cab and I thought, something's missing. And it was the amp. And I thought, well, okay, where's that gone? And then I saw it on the floor. And I was like, oh, man. But luckily, everything was fine.
I've got one word, twat.
Yeah, that was one of the
Funny
words.
enough, he said that at the time.
Yeah.
He said that at the time as well.
But it's all working, it's fine. So.
And the funny thing is, it doesn't matter how apologetic I've been or anything like that, or how, like, you know, oh, I'm sorry. And even after the fact, it's all fine and all that, still fucking goes on about it now.
Can't forget it. Don't forget it.
Like, this is the thing. Before the fucking camera's on, you said, you're the bass player. So look how personally he took that, right? Now think about what that's like when, like, if you actually start damaging his, like, stuff and all that. He throws all right fucking wobbly.
You might want to cut that bit out.
No, you can see the steam. Leave it in.
Because people need to know what he's fucking like. He's a twat.
I might edit some speed.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Twat.
But so basically, the amp's fine. Let's just leave it there.
But his ego.
So do you feel like you've now found your tone, or are you still searching for that?
I'll always be tone chasing. I'll never be totally happy with it. But I'm probably the most happy with what I've got at the moment.
Silly segment. Right, I'm going to ask you some stupid, ridiculously questions. You're welcome.
This is the silly part.
Is it?
silly
Is
part.
it? I didn't get that.
Okay, if you would you rather tour in a van with no AC or play every show wearing full leather in the summer?
The van. Every day of the week.
Yeah.
The amount of shows that we play where I end up with half of the clothes that I originally was wearing on the start. There's some shows that you play where you'll be absolutely fine. But the amount I play where you're under like all the spotlights, and you must have this as well. Mm-hmm. You know when you see that one spotlight that's just dying on you. Mm-hmm. Like, so imagine if you put that like in the... I don't fucking wear leather anyway, but like if it was in the summer and all that, forget it. I'm not surviving the set, man.
In my old band, I used to wear leather pants, right? Like trousers. So imagine you're on stage running around, they stick to your balls. It's like not great.
They must have like cut you out of it.
Yeah.
There's no way it's like, well, you have to like...
Peel them off, yeah.
Bathe in like petrol for an hour, like, you know, get them off.
So
every day of the van, every day of the week.
Yeah, 100%.
Every day.
100%.
Would you rather write the heaviest riff of all time but forget it immediately, or write an average riff that becomes widely famous?
Average riff.
Average riff.
Yeah, because I could well have written the heaviest riff ever and forgotten it. So, who knows?
And then again, though, if you create a riff that's like everyone knows, you're making money off of that.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And I don't necessarily always go for the heaviest riff. It's just what sounds best.
Yeah, I think from maybe the outside perspective, like obviously because I don't play anything, but I'd probably say average is good. Average would probably be better. Yeah, that'd be mine.
So, would you rather lose all your pedals or lose your amp but keep the pedals? Obviously, you don't use pedals, but
I would rather lose all the pedals and keep the amp purely for the monetary side of it. Because it's a lot of money. And seeing as I used a small amount of pedals anyway, it'd be easier to replace them.
That's fair. Plus, you've got an expensive rig.
I do.
Yes. Would you rather play a flawless set to a tiny crowd or play a messy, chaotic set to a massive crowd?
Flawless set to a small crowd.
Small crowds are always the best.
I really have never felt too much of a different way about how many people are in the room. I think that I've played shows where there's 20 people in the room and all that, but they all have a great time. And I've played the most boring ass shows in the world where it's closer to 100, and I feel nothing. I don't care if there's 2-3 people in the room. If they have a great time, then it's you see it in the performance and you see it in the whole setup, as opposed to I've had so many shows where it'll be packed out, but you just get eyeballed the entire set, and I feel nothing from that. Even if it was, like you said, if it was like messy, chaotic, and all that, nah, forget it. The numbers thing is really irrelevant to me. It's just about, you'll play shows in the tiniest fucking room that you've ever been in your life, and it will feel like there's 100 people in there if there's only 10, 15 people, you know, because it'll be transparent in how they react to what you do, without question. But,
I totally agree.
yeah.
Would you rather break a string during every solo, or never be able to use distortion again?
You don't even play fucking solos, do you?
Don't play solo. Well, there's only one guitar, so we haven't got the room for solos. But
That means you can't use distortion, so imagine what Locusts would sound without distortion.
Fuck me, all clean.
it's not worth thinking about. But,
Yeah.
for that question, it would be the breaker string. And I'm really stupid as well. I never bring a spare set of strings.
Oh,
to the show.
fuck off, really?
I work
You
in
haven't
a
had this happen yet, though. You haven't
no.
broken-
I work in a music shop, so it's so easy to get hold of strings, but I just don't.
Do you never bring a backup guitar
No.
with you? Oh my god.
No backup guitar.
The amount of
no-
times I've had broken strings, and now I'm like, always bring a backup, always.
I don't.
I played a set once where, not with this band, but our guitarist broke a string and it took him a good 10, 15 minutes to change over. So I had 10, 15 minutes of me just trying to fucking improv. What do I do? I even turned to our drummer and went, can you just play anything? Anything at all, just to try and fill the dead air? Because I ran out of things to say about 10 minutes ago. It does fucking happen, man. Yeah, definitely.
So, question for Robin. So, if you were mid-set, your guitar magically starts talking, what do you think it would say?
Chug.
Chug? Why chug?
Because that's what I do.
Would it be something insightful or
No, I mean, no one wants to hear that. At
Just
a hardcore
whispers in
show.
his ear, you got this, bro.
I don't.
You want something reaffirming? You want
No. We don't reaffirm each other, so I wouldn't want to hear that from the guitar. So I would just want chug.
Chug.
That's it.
That was season 2, episode 4 with Locusts, and we will see you in episode 5.
Bye.
Like.